Cause every time we party, we gon' have fun. I don't know about you, but I'ma rep where I'm from. Come on. Welcome to the RYC Live. If you feel good, put your hands up high. And if you rep the hood in the city, this is your choice right here. No lie, no lie. Welcome to the RYC Live. If you feel good, put your hands up high. And if you rep the hood in the city, this is your joint right here. No lie, no lie, no lie. Rep your city. Rep your city.
Welcome to the RYC Live Show this evening. We got my man, Mr. RYC Live himself behind the cut.
What's up, y'all? Y'all know how I do it. I'm low key, you know what I'm saying? Thanks for share, you know, sharing and scaring.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And then we also got Team RYC Live in the building, Mr. Zamir.
What's going on, Chicago?
Yeah. And as you all know, I'm Artistic. I'm your host for tonight. And tonight, I have the privilege and the honor to sit next to a man that's done some great things when it comes to hip-hop culture and art in Chicago. And so without further ado, let's talk to the one and only, the legendary Mr. Warp himself. Let's give it up, everybody. Yeah. So, you know, this has been a long time in coming.
I'm glad it's here, brother.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, you know, what we like to do basically is, you know, obviously, you know, with some of our histories, an hour is just not enough. But what we try to do is pull the main points, you know, from whatever it is that we've done over those years to at least get that in within the hour.
Yeah.
So let's go all the way back to the beginning of your career. Like, what inspired you to want to get into this type of art, this graffiti writing or graffiti art that, you know, some people call it? You know, what inspired you to want to even get involved in the game?
Okay, before I answer that, I want to say one thing. I'm deeply honored and privileged to be here with yourself and to be a part of this great event. And I also want to send a shout out to all of our brothers who I know belong here.
Yes.
You know, and who are dearly missed.
Yes.
So, yeah, that's just something that we all need to keep in mind.
Yes, sir.
All right, all the time.
Yes.
And now getting back to that question. Hey, brother, I mean, truly, it was just the time.
Okay.
It was the time for, you know, something a little bit out of the norm, as we would know it to be, to take shape and form. And it just happened to be, you know, the art that's named graffiti.
Okay.
And like I said, I've been an artist all my life.
Right.
So this is just another art form, so to speak. But a different art form because of everything else it was connected to.
Okay.
So that was something in and of itself, you know, to set it apart and be kind of like dealt with on a different level.
Okay.
You know. And yeah, you know, it being what it has turned out to be, you know,
Right.
truly attest to it being something that was far different and greater than any of us probably had, you know, anticipated.
So how did you come up with your name?
Even though that question has been asked a couple of times, brother, and I always try to, you know, remember the exact feeling and reason, you know, that it came up. But the closest thing that I could really say is that, because even before I came up with Warp, there were a couple of other names,
Okay.
you know, that I played around with.
Okay.
It's just that Warp, you know, was the one that stuck.
Okay.
That stuck.
And it's a unique name, too.
Well, and that was one of the reasons, too. I wanted to make sure I had, first of all, I had something that nobody else had, probably was not thinking of.
Right.
And it just, it kind of grabbed me,
Okay.
you know, as I started playing around with it more and more. And, yeah, lo and behold, you know, Warp was the choice of names, you know, that was going to be the thing that tied itself to history.
So for the record, because obviously, you know, we all had to start somewhere.
Yeah.
But for the record, what was it, or what year can you remember as much as possible when it was when you started in the game?
Well, like, and I often tell, you know, this story quite a bit too, but I actually started in the game before I knew there was a game.
Wow.
Yeah. You know, I actually did a piece up at my high school,
Okay.
Lincoln Park High, and me and a couple of friends got together, went up one night about 12 o'clock, spray paint in hands, and we did a giant anti-Izod, you know, sign on this outdoor stage
Okay.
that was, you know, part of the school's structure and ground. And like I said, I didn't attribute that to like doing graffiti.
Right.
It was just something that, you know, I knew we were going to do.
Right.
And that was just the mission.
Right.
But lo and behold, like I said, that was something that I guess it was a foreshadow of things to come.
Okay. So prior to that, you doing that particular piece, you had not witnessed any other artists doing that type of, like with a spray paint can, actually painting letters.
No, because when we did that, when me and my friends did that, that was in, it was like late 80s.
Okay.
It was late, yeah, it was 80. It
Like
was in
1980.
It was in 80.
Right.
Late in 80.
Right,
not
right.
late 80s.
Right, right,
Because
right.
I graduated
Like in the
82.
mid part of 1980.
Yeah,
Okay. Okay.
yeah.
Yeah. So, which at that time it was definitely new to Chicago, and you know, obviously it wasn't little or none at the time that was actually physically doing that as it relates directly to the art of writing
Exactly, brother.
in
Like,
Chicago.
Yeah, in all
Yeah.
honesty, like I said, that was even, you know, prior to me having knowledge
Yeah.
of what graph was.
Right.
And then how it was moving, you know. And like I said, that was just, like I say, foreshadow of things to come.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's exactly what it, you know, pretty much turned out to be.
Right.
So, yeah, it's like, you know, but keeping it real, it was unplanned, it was unknown, but it still happened.
So after that particular piece that you all did at the school, what did that lead to in terms of the experience of the movement for you beginning to become a big part of your life?
Well, now I can also say this too. I remember keeping the spray paint cans that were left over.
Okay.
You know, so I had those
Yeah.
in my possession, and then the next thing you know, I'm just like over in the greens, you know, doing some little designs and stuff,
Right.
but not thinking like, you know. As a matter of fact, I did a repeat of the thing that we painted up at the school.
Okay.
The anti-Izod sign, but it was in one of the basements
Okay.
of the greens.
Okay.
You know, where nobody would, you know, probably ever see it because nobody, but you know, kids were going through the basements
Right.
of the greens.
Right. Right.
So yeah, that was some stuff we did, and then after that, you know, just things started formulating.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
they started coming around.
Wow. So for the record, where are you from exactly? Give the viewers a description of where you resided back during that time when you began your career in the art of writing.
Well, at that time, I was in Cabrini Green.
Okay.
Now, I wasn't originally from Cabrini Green.
Okay.
I'd actually stay down the street
Okay.
from the Greens.
Okay.
You know, about a minute away.
Okay.
But yeah, my grandmother wound up moving to the Greens,
Okay.
and I believe that was in 70. I want to say 78, 77, 78, right around there.
Okay.
And a little bit after she was there, I wound up moving in with her.
Okay.
You know, just to kind of watch her and keep an eye on her.
Gotcha.
And, so you know, just make sure she was okay.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So the ball began to turn with you doing a little design here and there, and at what point did you realize the connection to what it was that we now are so greatly and appreciative of in terms of this movement?
Well, for me, there was a friend of mine who had gone to New York.
Okay.
He was a couple of years older than me, but he had gone to New York, and while he was there, he wound up going to like all the hot spots, you know, from Cabrini is like myself.
Right.
So he gets there. This is all, you know, brand new world. And he took lots of pictures
Okay.
and brought them back.
Okay.
Just so happened that he had pictures of graffiti.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
You know, and because he knew I was an artist and he knew I was doing stuff. Next thing you know, we're doing a mural on the side to the front of his building.
Oh wow.
Yeah. And he stayed like I say, not too far from Cabrini.
Okay.
Too.
Okay.
So yeah, that was one of the first things we did piece wise.
Okay.
You know, and this is what I'm talking about before crew or anything.
Right.
It was just he and I. You know, I had the paint left over, came out there and, you know, went to work.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. You know, it's interesting because I never really thought about a time when there was no crews. You know what I'm saying?
There was
Because
a time.
obviously when I started, it was crews already. But when you talk back with some of the earlier New York writers and Philadelphia writers, some of them mentioned, and I thought that was interesting, that some of them mentioned that when they started, and we're talking like the late 60s, early 70s,
Right.
that there was no crews.
That's right. See how it repeats itself? It's
Right.
just repeating itself.
Yeah.
I can honestly say that. I mean, if there were any crews, they definitely were somewhere where, you know, most people
Right.
wouldn't even
Right.
take notice to it.
Right.
If that was really going on. But at that point, no, I'm almost safe to say that there were no crews because that was pretty much like that was in 81.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And he had gone to New York and came back here. So that was in 81. It was just like probably like a year after I did that. Not even a full year,
Right.
you know,
Yeah.
months later.
Yeah.
You know?
And then that's interesting because, you know, from what I recall with talking with Flash
Mm-hmm.
and B-Boy B,
Yeah,
which were members of the ABC crew,
right.
and from what I remember, they saying they really had just got their crew going in 81.
Okay.
And it started off primarily as a breaking crew,
Right.
you know, stick breaking crew or something like that.
Uh-huh.
But then also the graffiti kind of started to develop shortly after, you know, and so that it all lines up.
It's
It makes
around that
sense.
same time.
Yeah.
See, that's what I say. It's like, I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, you remember stuff like that because, like I said, that was my introduction
Right.
into it. So that thing, you know, it's like almost like the, you know, the aha moment.
Right.
You know, I'm discovering something.
Right.
And then you start, you know, going into it. Next thing
Right.
you know, you're fully immersed in.
Yeah.
You know, now you're this graffiti artist.
Wow.
You know,
Wow.
before you even knew you were a graffiti artist.
Right.
Now here it is.
So once you got to that point to where you realized what it was, you realized this is what you wanted to do. How did the crew for you begin to formulate here in Chicago for you, and you know, like your first crew?
Well, you know, I didn't think like with anybody or any other crews that were like early on, you know, you tend to gravitate to the people who are closest to you.
Right.
So, you know, my younger brother was the first crew member
Right.
in GGC, in
Okay.
the Graffiti Groove crew.
Right.
That was Demo.
Right.
You know, he comes in, you know, and he's a young artist, like, you know, like I was.
Right.
You know, he's looking for the adventure.
Right.
You know, looking for something outside of what the gang world or activity was offering. So, you know, this is the next best thing,
Right.
or the greatest thing, you know.
Right.
And along with himself and a couple other younger guys who were in the, you know, in the same neighborhood,
Right.
and kind of like saw some stuff happening,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and then, you know, inquired about it, and next thing you know, got another crew member,
Nice.
you know.
Nice.
But
So-
this is all people in the neighborhood.
Right. Right. So GGC stood for Graffiti Groove Crew.
Correct.
So that was your first crew.
First crew.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
So what would you say, you know, after you guys started recruiting, how many members would you say you guys got up to in total over the years?
I would say in all truthful memory that we probably didn't ever go over like 8 guys,
Okay.
you know, at the largest.
Right. Right. Right.
Yeah.
Right. Right.
And and even then, there were members that came in and left out, and others replaced. But that was I would say at the for the most part it's probably like 6 or 7
Okay.
of us. Yeah,
Okay.
at the longest point.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's move right into Chicago writers meetings.
Okay.
So what
Let's go there.
initiated that concept for you as an individual artist to even want to do that here in Chicago?
Like I say, it's just the idea of like knowing that this was bigger than just a fly by night kind of thing.
Right.
Because you have to remember, from that time that I actually started to that time that the meeting took place, that was development.
Right.
Developmental, skills and, techniques, and then more information, more knowledge coming from abroad. And now you got something to like put this energy into and focus it and channel it to. So, once we knew that, trains and buses were, there for our picking.
Right.
As well as closed stations like North and Clyde.
Right.
Okay. Then it's like it was time to like really take advantage of this thing while it was in its early stages, because the city had no clue that that it was really happening
Okay.
on that type of level yet.
Okay.
And so now even as the meeting was taking place and had formulated at that time, there was still a so to say grace period for us.
Okay.
Where we didn't have the full onslaught of the anti-graffiti task force and all that stuff coming at us.
Right.
So there was still like a period where we could formulate something, a plan,
Right.
to like really get a city that dose we were trying, that everybody was really trying to give it anyway.
Right.
Because that was the theme. That was the energy.
Right.
Graffiti was like, get up.
Right.
Bomb.
Right.
Or we were saying today, destroy the city.
Yeah. Yeah.
But we were destroying it artistically.
Right.
So
Now take the viewers a little bit through reliving how that went. And not, you don't have to go through all the details, but just a summary of what that was like for that very first all city writers meeting that was held.
I mean, it was it was what we needed at the time.
Uh-huh.
It was good for everybody. Everybody intended.
Okay.
Everybody who came in to that meeting left with something.
Okay.
And like I said, the overall goal was to bring everybody together so that we can go out in unison and hit as much as possible.
Right.
Now that didn't take place
Mm-hmm.
the way we had discussed it, but there were crews who agreed with that concept.
Okay.
And so, even though it wasn't the majority of us going out like the time, there were still those who said, "Yeah, let's crew up. Crews crew up and get out here and do some of this stuff."
Yeah.
And that's how we, got in to hit a couple of yards where pieces were running.
Right. Right.
And we appreciated that, because that was one of the goals.
Yeah.
We want to see the art moving. We want to see it out here. And I mean, that's what the meeting was for me. That's the overall idea and concept was. It was to bring us all together so that we could unify and consolidate all of this energy and know-how to get out here and make this known to the city.
And from what I understand, a lot of the writers from Chicago at that time didn't even know of each other. They hadn't really met each other up until that meeting.
Well, I would say that's truthful too, because that was part of graffiti.
Yeah.
There were a lot of writers that I didn't
Right.
know who they were, physically.
Right.
But I always saw their tags or saw
Right.
a throw up or something, but you didn't know who they were.
Right.
Everybody wanted to remain anonymous.
Right.
So that was part of it.
Right.
So we know that's the truth.
Right.
Not something that, I'm embellishing because I was like, oh yeah, he brought everybody together and now everybody. No, I'm just saying that the majority of us like really didn't know each other.
Right.
You know, and people pretty much wanted it like that, so nobody could, you know, say, "Oh, I know who he is. And this is where he stays." So you can see how that serves its own purpose.
Okay.
But yeah, it was good when people came together.
Right.
You know, because at that meeting, there were phone numbers exchanged. There were pieces done right there on the spot in people's books, because, you know, I guess people were like really glad to like know that, oh, this is who you are, and
Yeah.
I'm here, and it's like, yeah, you know, we've been bombing right next to each other. And
Right.
so yeah, it was just, you know, something that was needed for Chicago. Us
Right.
to come together real fast, identify with each other, and say, okay, hey, we're moving, you know, in the same direction anyway. Why don't we just focus it and channel it, and then, you know, hit the bullseye with it.
Yeah.
And that's what the spirit of the meeting was.
Okay.
You know, it wasn't like, I wanted to say, hey, I want to be a guy that's known for, like, you know, none of that. You don't even think about that stuff at that time.
Right. Right.
Because it's not even important.
Right.
But the thing was to get us all together so we can really go out and take care of that business.
That's what's up. That's
You
what's
know?
up. Let's see who we got tuning in so far. We see Mr. Doc Maninoff. What's up, man? Checking in with us. Doc Maninoff say, "Yo, Warp, hey brother." He
that's
say
my
he's
little brother.
yeah. He say ribs pig. Then he say peace to the brother, unlike another. So that Doc Maninoff checking in with you one time,
Hey,
you know.
peace to the brother, man. Much love, Doc. And you know, brother, ribs is still pig, even if you put sauce on it.
Hey, we want to also just mention too, to make sure y'all share the broadcast. You know, let other people know about the broadcast. We do this every Thursday night at 8 p.m. And we always, you know, like to get feedback. So, you know, leave us a comment as you continue to watch the broadcast, and also share the broadcast. And tune in every Thursday when we have our show, every Thursday at 8 p.m. right here at the studio, RYC Live. You can also send us an email if you'd like to be on a future show, ryclive@yahoo.com. That's ryclive@yahoo.com, and then we can get you booked on a future show. Also, we ask that you subscribe to our YouTube channel. If you go to RYC Live on YouTube, and go ahead and hit the subscribe button. We're trying to build up our viewers, and sharing is caring. It'll be appreciative of showing love, because this platform is for you.
Use it.
Yeah. So, yeah, you know, so it's interesting though. So that kind of created a domino effect with all city meetings, because as I was mentioning earlier off the record, you know, when I came to my first all city meeting, which was in 1987, by then the city had embraced the idea and the concept of the meetings, you know, and it was a pleasure and honor just to meet a large group of writers at the same time at a meeting right here in our own city, you know. And then we would look at how people were doing it in other cities like New York, but obviously we didn't have the ability to go to New York to a meeting like we would have liked. So we had the opportunity to do it right here locally in our own city. And when you would see writers, it was just a whole dynamics to just even going to the meeting that day and coming home from the meeting.
Oh yeah.
You know, because it was a relation between not just being able to go there and see what the topic of discussion is, but now I'm gonna get up on my way there. I'm gonna get up on my way back. We might go to the art store afterward. You know, we gonna exchange numbers. We gonna get up in each other's books. We gonna take pictures. Back then, I remember we was always representing the Zulu Nation because we knew it was connected to hip hop. Right. So, you know, there were variables and factors in the game where it helped all of us develop. And crews was important because it was just like, okay, what's some of the hottest crews? You know, you see, and some of these crews that you would see up, now you get a chance to meet and put the face behind the name.
And that's important too.
Right.
Because, I mean, you want to connect and identify as much as possible, because we're all connected through this art, doing the same thing. So at some point, you even want to share and exchange things, all depending on, like, you know, what your connection to that individual, you know, was. or was going to become. You want to, you know, express in something so
Right.
that you're both getting something from each other, and that strengthens the movement.
Yes.
You know,
Yes.
because now we're a little bit more connected,
Right.
opposed to like everybody's apart. Everybody's kind of, you know, itsy about who this person really is. You know,
Yeah.
or who he may be,
Right.
and what his agenda is.
Right.
But once you kind of like, you know, tear all that stuff down, you know, and see like, oh, this is just somebody basically like me,
Yeah.
you know, and we just happen to be doing this same thing.
We talked a little bit earlier before the show. We talked a little bit about style.
Okay.
So as an artist or as an individual writer, you know, the goal was to kind of develop your own unique style, your own unique signature. You know, so for you as an artist, how would you define what your style was during those days, and how it began to develop into who you became as a person or as an artist?
For me, because see, I come from, you know, like I say, from an art background, you know, doing, you know, different little mediums of art, and I would have to say that that was just an extension of everything that I had already been doing, and being formulated into like the almost to say final product of what all that led to. And my style was like a you know, freestyle,
Okay.
more freestyle,
Okay.
you know, because it's like I knew, like me, I'm ever changing,
Okay.
you know, so that had to reflect, my art had to reflect me.
Okay.
So you couldn't always predict what this next piece is going to look like or be like, because I just wanted to like always kind of be like, wait, okay, hey, is that warps, or oh, that is okay. But, because I mean, the element of surprise. I mean, and you know, you always want to kind of remain, like I say, unpredictable, to the point where it's like somebody's looking at it and saying, oh, yeah, okay, yeah, well maybe I can, you know, do something a little different.
Yeah.
You know, outside of like what I'm always known for.
Right.
You know, just as long as it's in this, you know, same energy, same
Right.
spirit of like, hey, I'm creating, I'm doing something great.
Right.
And then somebody else is going to see it, and they may get influenced from this.
Right.
You know, more so from this piece than that piece.
Right. You know, we had the honor to welcome here in Chicago one of the first black mayors
Yeah.
during the 80s.
Yes, we did.
As a matter of fact, he came into office in 83. And I remember some of his works as a teenager. And I didn't know him personally, but, you know, I would watch him on TV. The late, great Harold Washington.
May you rest in peace.
Yeah,
Yes.
and you know, he seemed like he was a people person.
Yeah.
You know, and it didn't look like it was fake or he was behind a facade.
No, it was genuine.
Yeah,
And you could feel that.
Yeah,
It was
you know.
genuine.
And when the unfortunate situation of us losing him, you know, right as he, I believe, entered his second term.
I would say way too early.
Yeah, very, way too early.
Yeah.
But because of that, or after the after effects of that, sparked a project between some of Chicago local artists.
Right.
So, and I understand you were a part of that. So, can you kind of give us a little summary of what that was like and why it even happened?
Yeah, well, that was inspired by the passing of Harold Washington, and like you said, you know, when people give you a certain kind of energy and you really pick up on it and feel it, it's gonna move you to do something.
Right.
Whatever the something may be, it's gonna be done. And us as artists, you know, a couple of crews went in, you know, and yeah, we wanted to express ourselves,
Right.
you know, for the passing, you know, of Harold Washington and everything that he was doing to help try to make the city a better place.
Yeah.
You know, for everyone.
Right.
Not for just a certain group of people, for everyone.
Right.
So,
Right.
you know, that's something, you know, to be appreciated. But, yeah, we wound up going into the Evanston Yard.
Okay.
And, like I said, there were two cars that was doing slang did the
Shout out to our man Slang.
yes sir. He's to the guy. He did a Harold Washington car.
Okay.
And recently recreated that same piece over in the Logan Square wall.
Right.
So yeah, we feel you, Slang. And myself doing the other Harold Washington piece. Now the thing about it was that was a very cold night.
Yes.
You know,
I heard.
Freezing night. And now along with us doing the the piece cars, there were a few others in there doing some throw ups and names and stuff, which was needed as well.
Right.
But like I said, it was just so cold, and I particularly remembering one of my cans freezing up.
Right.
One of my black outline cans. So I wound up having to use the dye. Dye,
Okay.
to do the finished outline.
Wow.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, so like I said, some of the things you never forget. And unbeknownst to me, the brother Skid, who was out in the yard.
Skid.
Yes,
That's what's up.
He's in the yard, and he had gotten frostbitten that night, and I never knew that.
Right.
I know he said his hands were really cold, but they told me he actually lost a finger behind that.
Interesting.
Yeah, that's what I mean. And, we just out here really doing what we love to do.
Yeah.
And that type of, element.
Yeah.
So that means, this is everything we're doing, that it has to be from the heart.
Yeah.
Because like I said, it's like, you got people who get paid to come out and do stuff and won't do it in that type of environment.
Now, I heard something, and I don't know how true it is, but I wonder, because it's interesting. But when trains were painted here in Chicago, just like in New York, obviously, they didn't like that, and they would try to do what they could to take it out of service and clean it and things of that nature. But obviously, New York had the upper hand because they were painting more trains at a rapid pace than we were. But in Chicago, trains were taken out of service a lot of times to try to be cleaned and before they put back out on the tracks. But I heard that when the Harold Washington trains were painted, they allowed those trains to run for a certain amount of time just because of what was on them. And
yeah, a lot of people pretty much saw the trains at different times.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I just saw them that once, and actually, they showed it on the news.
Okay.
It was on the news.
Okay.
Yeah, showed the trains going down over the track. It was on the I remember Channel 2 News.
Okay.
And they showed it.
Okay.
Now, I was just automatically assuming that they're taking it to the buff.
Right.
So, okay, all right, that was cool. At least we saw it. But that's when I got the reports from other people that the trains were still running.
Yeah.
So I said, whoa, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Because, the guys who were there,
yeah.
They decide, like, if they can get to those trains now, and if they see something they like,
yeah,
then them trains are going to have a little bit more longevity.
Yeah.
Opposed to, like, something that just don't really matter.
So, for all those that may not know, the winter of 1987, trains were painted.
Oh, yes.
And this particular night, Harold Washington's name was painted on these trains. And these trains ran. And as a matter of fact, one of our other homies, Fine 39, was one of the writers that actually documented the train. And for a long time, I would see that picture circulating on the internet and never knew who had took it.
Oh.
And finally, when I connected with Fine, who now lives in Arizona, peace to my man Fine.
Peace, God.
Yeah. He said, that's my photo.
Oh, see there?
That he took of the Harold Washington train.
Okay.
And he said he waited overnight, the whole time, waiting for that train to pull out so he can get pictures of it.
Wow. See, dedication, baby. Thank you, brother. Thank you for that dedication.
Yeah. So I don't know if any other people had shots or got, and it may be some other people that did document it.
Right.
But I know for a fact there's some shots that definitely were taken by Fine, and you can find those photos right now that's circulating. If you type in Chicago graffiti Harold Washington train, it's going to come up.
Okay, that's
Yeah,
beautiful.
yeah. So
And I just wanted to add that not only were trains painted, on that night in '87, which is documented, there were trains that I did before that.
right.
Yeah, right before that.
Right.
My daughter being born in 1987, I went out and did a train for her.
Okay.
But it was up at the Wilson Yard.
Yeah. So we're just trying to highlight the fact that we did do the work. The work had been done through a course of time, and we have documentation of it.
Yeah.
But I just think that it's important that I look at this movement today as a movement that I'm proud to be a part of.
Yeah, likewise.
And now it has gotten a lot more recognition on a global scale.
Yeah.
I mean, there's museums opening up.
That's right.
There's companies utilizing the art from different artists. And where at one point I remember back in the 80s it was a struggle because people said that's not art.
Right.
That's vandalism.
Yeah.
And even back when we were painting trains, I understand that that concept of putting the application of art to the train or to any type of bus or
Any type of vehicle.
and then all of a sudden now this whole concept of a wrap piece of art around a train or a bus had become the new thing. Whereas when we was doing it was like, it was frowned upon.
Is that art imitating life or life imitating art?
Right.
See, I mean, the idea they knew that it was like it must be something to this,
Right.
I mean, look at this, and then like I said, a lot of those pieces, like were really done well,
Right.
and it looked good, and it made the trains look more interesting than it was without it.
Right.
So I mean, somebody picked up on that. They couldn't tell us that at the time because that would have fueled an avalanche of artists coming out and say, "Oh, we're letting this do," So no, don't let them know, but we're gonna use that.
Yeah.
And they come around, they let it cool down, or reside, and next thing you know, this is the new art.
Yeah.
Corporate art.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not grassroots. Freelance, just real spiritual and energetic corporate art.
Mm-hmm.
Now we can handle this because we can control this.
Right.
That other thing we can control, and somebody may wind up saying something we don't like, and it's gonna be all out in this, and then that's another idea.
Right.
But if we can give you, corporate ads, to
Right.
keep you thinking about buying and spending and consuming, we're okay, we're safe.
Right.
Okay.
What
So-
were some of your favorite tools? Everybody obviously had things that they liked to use when it came to the application of applying it to a surface. So, whether it was a particular brand of paint or a particular marker, you know what I'm saying? What was some of your favorites that you can recall?
Krylon
Okay.
and the unis.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, those are, and the pintails. So,
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the design markers.
Yep, the design markers for the books.
Yeah. I mean, those are those are the tools of the trade.
Yeah.
More stuff was coming, but those stood out for me.
Yeah.
Those are things that I use most. Let me
Okay.
say that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Now you also was an airbrush artist as well, right?
Yeah.
So-
pick up on the airbrush.
Not a lot of artists back in those days had access to an airbrush. I remember when I first seen one, and I think it was over Dr. Gory's house.
Okay,
And
Gory.
yeah, Dr. Gory.
Dr. Gory. Blast from the past, brother. I hope you are alive and well.
Yeah, and when I seen him, I went to his studio in his home, and when I seen him at work and some of the artwork that he was sharing with us, I was blown away. I remember he drew some Run DMC cat characters, and they were like cat characters dressed like Run DMC, and the whiskers coming up off the cat was like coming up off the paper because of the repeatograph pens.
Yes, that's right.
You know what I'm saying? And I was just like, how did you do this?
Exactly. Well, and see, we all have those stories. It's like, like I say, there were really some die-hard artists in this thing. Cats who were like super talented.
Right.
And Oh, I mean, just too many to to like really just name right off and,
Right.
and be so accurate.
Right.
But a memory that I have is when I was hanging out with Orca, and he introduced me to Nick.
Okay.
His friend Nick.
Okay.
Yeah. And
Is that
Sick Nick.
Okay, Sick Nick. Yeah.
And yeah, he was doing some. I mean, yeah, this guy was a talented artist. He was doing some stuff, with the Airbus that was just, phenomenal.
Yeah.
Whereas I mean, like so many other cats were, too. I mean, Saints Daily with the Brush.
Right.
Tricks.
Right.
I mean, like I said, it was just numerous cats.
Yeah.
So many to like name right off the top of my head, but. Yeah, like I said, when I saw some of the things that they were doing, those things inspired me.
Yeah.
It wasn't like I just said like, okay, hey, I'm fully rounded on everything I'm doing. No, it's like, hey, there were things that other people were doing that really compelled me to say, you know what, venture here now, and take it, take it in this direction, and yeah, that's what I did.
Right.
Because anything I see that moves me and touches me, it's pretty much ingrained in me, and now I'm going to do that freestyle thing with say like, okay, well, let me try this, let me do this, and then I mean, basically it's just like paint on everything.
Right.
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 Like everything was like like a viable target.
Right.
To be hit, to be done.
Now, as an artist and you're developing, we're going to be concluding, but as an artist and you're developing, you got into doing more sculpture type work, right?
Oh yeah, just another art form.
Right.
Yeah, he's doing some sandstone carving.
Okay.
Yeah, the medium was sandstone, man-made sandstone, and just basically taking it and carving it, into different forms and fashions that were artistic. And yeah, once again, people seeing things that are different, but feeling the energy in it, in the structure of it, and they gravitate towards it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I started doing that, and I mean, once again, it was even doing graffiti in the sandstone. So
right.
Like I say, it's in me.
Yeah. Well, yeah. So let's see here. We got. It's time go by so quick.
Yes.
But let's see
Real
here.
quick hour.
So are we?
Let's take a moment to do some recaps over this week's activities.
Okay.
I want to send a shout out one time to the digital DJ Dub C's, the Underground Power Hour Dub C's Entertainment.
Yes, sir.
Man, now that virtual award show,
Yes, indeed.
it was nice. It
Nice.
was real nice. It was beyond nice.
Right.
Okay.
You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Say that.
It was beyond nice. I was honored an award, a special award, the Zach TV Award for Best Videographer of the Year.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, brother.
Man, and also I got another award,
Mm-hmm.
and just a Legends Honors Award.
Yep.
So I just want to say that consistency is everything.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And no matter, if you're doing it for the love, you don't have to be sitting around waiting on somebody to appreciate what you do, because it's what you do anyway. But it's a beautiful thing when people can acknowledge your works.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
That's it,
saying?
man.
I mean, it adds a little spark to the flame, and it just makes you feel like you appreciate it. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So I want to give a super shout out one time to my legend brother, the one and only Dub C, formerly known as Double C from the MOC Rappers.
C's.
Okay.
Yeah, man, you outdid your thing, man. You outdid yourself on this one, man. So we just want to thank you. I want to thank you, man, and just say, keep up the good work, man. The platform it should be appreciated. We definitely appreciate it,
For
and we
sure.
know
For sure.
the importance of platforms, something that we didn't really have much of back in the days. But we're gonna take advantage of this opportunity with the internet, And we always said if we had it, what we would do. So now we have it. Let's see what we're going to do with it.
It's
Yeah.
show and improve.
Yeah.
And I want to send a shout out to you too, brother. Thank you for that.
Yep.
Much
Also, we want to send a big shout out to Twister and Creative, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They shared. They took a picture. They shared it on the social media. Them holding the rappers and MCs 1978 to 2020 classic edition, a collage
Yes,
classic
sir.
edition.
Yes, sir.
Man, so that was nice, man. You know, Zamir, you know what I'm saying, doing his thing out here. We all doing our thing to make this thing pop the way it should. And it's, like I mentioned before, it's something that should have been done many, many years ago. But, you know, as long as we got something to do with it, we gonna make it happen.
Hey, it's gonna be greater later.
It's
brother.
gonna get greater later. It only get greater later.
Here it is.
You know, shouts out to Team RYC Live.
Yes.
You know, Alicia, lyricist, Kales, Zamir, Artistic, and myself. You know, Team RYC Live. That's who we are. You know, we're not stopping, y'all. We on a high.
Can't be stopped.
We can't be stopped. We're not stopping. Don't try to stop us. You're gonna get ran over. You know what I'm saying? We got arms locked.
Right.
Moving full throttle. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, watch out. And if you would like to be part of the RYC Live show, whether a special guest or studio guest right here in the audience, by all means, send us an email. Let us know why you are interested in being part of the show. Send us an email at ryclive@yahoo.com. Again, that's ryclive@yahoo.com. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Go to RYC Live. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that notification button. Hit that like button. Hit those hearts. Do all that stuff, you know. And if you're interested in getting a collage, a t-shirt or poster, hit us up, Chicago Hip Hop Posters or Chicago Hip Hop T-shirt. My brother Zamir and myself, we will get back with you. And anybody part of RYC Live team, reach out to us, hit us in the DM. And we'll get back with you with that order. You know what I'm saying? DM us. DM us.
DM me.
DM me.
DM us.
DM us. You know what I'm saying? They're only $20 each, shirt and or t-shirt. I mean, shirt or poster. And if you're from out of town, please consider the fact that there will be a shipping and handling cost. But all of that will be discussed in the DM with further information, and you can give us your information so we can make sure we ship that product to you expeditiously. In the meantime, y'all, we have the one and only Warp right here on the show with us on this wonderful Thursday evening, man. We're so glad to have you on the show.
Thank you,
You
brother.
could have been anywhere in the world, but you chose to be right here amongst us, man.
Where I belong.
Yeah, yes, absolutely, man. We are the modern day WHBK. We're on a visual level.
Hey,
You know?
and I'm loving it.
Yeah. Shouts
I
out
need
to
you.
everybody that's tuned in right now. If you're tuned in right now on the live broadcast, shouts out to you. We love you. Thanks for tuning in. And if you're playing us back on the playback, thank you as well for watching. Don't forget, sharing is caring. And we don't ask for much, but, you know, we do ask that you go ahead and hit that share button and show us some love. Let us know you appreciate what we're doing, and we appreciate you all for appreciating us. So back to the host of the show one time for the one and only Artistic, Shy-Rock Nation, Legends of Chicago
Yes, sir.
Hip-Hop.
Yes, sir. Yes,
In the
sir.
building, y'all.
Hey, Mr. RYC
right.
Live, can you give me a poster? Can you give me a poster of the what you just highlighted? You know.
Oh, for sure. Absolutely.
Yeah, show that.
How do you want it? You know, if you on some Three Stooges stuff. How you want
Yeah,
it?
you know, is that one rolled up?
Here's one rolled up. It's, you
Okay.
know, kind of
Can we unroll it
rolled
and
with
show it?
a few creases.
Okay.
But, you know, it's going to explain, or you're going to explain it.
Okay. All right.
We gonna unroll it.
So this is the project here, and you know, one of many to come, but this is our home.
That's right.
This is our home.
Support this.
The rappers MC 1978 to 2020 collage poster edition, and this is well over 150 something artists on here
All on there.
from Chicago.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah.
Inspired and created by D. Coney, and also created and designed by Zamir. You know,
Yeah.
and we are Team RYC Live, so that's all our baby.
Yeah.
And shouts out to everybody who made the collage.
Yeah.
That means you've been doing something.
Yeah.
Y'all been doing something.
Right.
Okay.
So you know, make sure y'all show us some support. You know, more coming in the pipeline. And again, you know, it's all about Chicago. We want to help. We love other cities around the world. Don't get us wrong, and we support them at any time that we can. Because that's the type of people we are.
That's right.
But I've always heard and been taught, first take care of home. You know, like you can't go take care of somebody else's house if your own house hasn't been taken care of first.
Right. And speaking of taking care of home, we got to take care of our other home. Shouts out to the one and only lyricist.
Yeah.
Over there in the Twin City.
Twin City, Minnesota.
Twin City, Minnesota, St. Paul, Minnesota, right?
Yeah.
She'll be actually broadcasting live next week, which is the last Thursday. That's going to be on the 30th.
Yeah.
You know, July 30th. Y'all check us out as we broadcast live from the Twin Cities with the one and only lyricist, y'all.
Yeah.
And we're not going to even tell you who she's going to have on the show. You all will just have to stick around and tune in to the show.
Yeah.
But man, her first show, man, she had an awesome show, man. Her show took off like phew.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Twin Cities.
And she told me, she said it's called Lyricist on the Lake.
Hey, and this one is gonna be even hotter. Okay.
Lyricist on the Lake. Hey. So, hey, you know, Wart, man, we, you know,
and I was gonna say, in conjunction to what you were saying about Shy, which is right on the money. Don't forget that. Hey, nobody can tell a Chi-Town story like we can tell a Chi-Town story.
There you go.
So,
there you go. Hey, real quick, we shout out to Dean 4. Old school Dean 4 checking in.
Hey, Dean, what's up, brother?
Yeah. Dean 4 checking in. He say, I love my city.
That's right.
We got Nino checking in from Arizona. Yeah, Nino. What's up, Nino? Checking in, representing.
Appreciate you, brother.
That's good. One time for your mind. And we got L1 checking in. Elroy Castle checking in. He says, good boosting at Flax in downtown after the meetings with the Chicago writers.
You better know it, boy. You had to be there to know that. That's right.
Yeah, so that's what's up. That's what's up. Yeah, so
see, some of these memories can never be replaced.
Yeah. So in summary, y'all, we you know, again, Ward, man, we want to thank you first off for just being able to take some of your time out to come on the show.
My honor.
Yeah.
Truly
yeah.
My honor.
And we want to thank all of you all for watching and supporting, showing, you know. So, and with that being said, here's my last question.
Yeah.
So, for the viewers, what bit of advice would you give to any up and coming artist that's trying to get in the game of writing, or just as an artist in general? As an experienced artist like yourself, what kind of advice would you give to them?
I would tell them, hey, definitely take some of the lead, if not all of it, from the road that has already been paved, and really use that to follow your passion, you know, and to assert yourself the only way that you can assert yourself and be the greatest you will. You know, take this time to, like I say, really use it to express yourself. That's what any form of art is for. It's for self-expression.
Right.
So if you're doing that, and you seeing that that's the thing that is going to get you to your next level, then that's what you stay on.
That's what's up.
Use it.
That's what's up.
And pass it on. Share it.
Right. So with that being said, where can people connect with you? How can they find you, Warp, these days?
I'm on Facebook, you know, a couple other little joints, but pretty much, you know, you reach out for me, I'm there.
Okay, all right.
Those who know.
Yeah, the humble brother Warp, y'all.
Okay, yeah, love it.
So once again, we want to thank everyone for watching. Once again, you could have been anywhere, but you chose to be here with us tonight. And we love that. We love you all for that. continue to share and subscribe to our channel. Once again, RYC Live, RYC Live Show on Instagram, and of course RYC Live on Facebook. Send us a friend request if you haven't done so already, and follow us. Keep up with what we got going on. And next Thursday, we're going to bring to you from our neighboring city, the Twin Cities in Minnesota, coming from our homegirl lyricist. She's going to give us something good with what she got. So
Check that out.
yeah. So we thank y'all until next week.
Love y'all.
You know what? I got one thing I want to say. This Sunday, one of the events that we are having this Sunday, and I almost forgot, this Sunday at 5 o'clock, the Chirac Nation will be having a virtual event. A virtual event. Hip-hop virtual event, live, being broadcast live on Facebook at 5 o'clock this Sunday. So for those that's available, please tune in.
Check that out.
It's going to be, if you are a Chirac Nation member, check us, go into the Chirac Nation forum.
Chirac!
Yeah.
Shout it out. Shout it out at the mountaintop.
Yes, indeed. Yeah. So there are going to be some instructions. So please follow us. You can go to the Chirac Nation page or the Chirac Nation forum, or hit us in the inbox on the Chirac Nation page if you have any questions. You can do that. Visit us at chiracnation.com. That's our website. And we'll definitely be sure to get back to you. But we're looking forward to seeing you. We're going to have a lot of activity, some performances. We're going to do some interviewing, talk about some of the latest updates with what's going on with some of the members and just Chicago in general. We love y'all, Chicago. Thanks to the man Ward for coming to the studio,
Hey, brother.
blessing us.
Anytime and every time. Anytime, every time.
Yeah.
Love
So, hey, all I got to say is I'm thankful and grateful. And until next week, y'all, we're going to continue to rep our city here and everywhere else.
Peace and love, y'all.
Yeah.
Nothing but the love, brother. Nothing but the love.
Yeah.
That was good.
Yeah, so this, like I was saying, this is definitely, it's a 22 by 28. So, obviously,
Hold on here.
it's actually, it's over 156 because some of them are in groups. So I gotta it's about 5 groups on here that I gotta take the time out and count the members in the group.
Okay.
But
I mean, they own that. So
yeah.
they own that.
But we're looking at probably including the people in the groups, it's probably around maybe 170 to 180 people total. Yeah. And this is just one of many that we're gonna be doing. Because this is all the MCs, but we're gonna do one for the writers and the DJs and all. Yeah.
That's right. Like you said, it's right to turn into series.
Yeah.
Can't wait for it.
Yeah, man. Yeah. So, yeah, man. So we're gonna take some pictures,
If you feel good, put your hands up high. And if you rep the hood in the city, this is your joint right here. No lie.
Yeah, man. I appreciate you coming down, man.
Brother, I appreciate you inviting me.
Yeah.
Loving it all.
Yeah. We'll get a chance to share it with some people and and hey, we're not looking for this to be the last time.
Okay. You get mad, brother. Call and I'm coming.